Here we go. Ended up using the 4 doors from the old truck, so or old car. So what I did was I got the latches taken out of these. So they went real well. Just lots of lube put on there, the old transmission fluid as usual. Filled her up, let her sit, pulled all the bolts. Those bolts are like gold to me, just with the old style flat head on the top, the button on the top, just all that. They're going to be repurposed throughout the truck for sure, whether it's the CB radio clip that gets them or what, but we've got those bolts, which like I say, it's just excellent to be able to salvage. So the striker plates came out real easy. The only thing that had to be done was a slight modification for the locks on those. So all that was a couple of spot welds and tack them off, and now they're never going to lock again. Went over them real well, cleaned them up real well, made sure everything was functioning, put a little bit of heat into the coil spring around it just to back off the tension, a little bit on it just to make it a little more comfortable for opening and closing the tailgate itself, and then welded them into place. The skin of the back here, it sat right on top of everything. So before I welded that off, there was no going back after welding that on. I made sure to put some seam sealer across the top of it, just got it gobbed on there really good, cleaned both edges where the primer was so that we have good contact, and just glued it down on the top. So there's just absolutely no way when we do have the music just going in the truck loud, there's going to be no like kind of vibrating sounds and stuff like that happening. It'll just be nice and quiet. You hear your music, good, right? So let's take a look at how this all panned out in the end. I'm going to try tilting that down and put this in the back of the bed. Let's see it, get up there and take a look. There we go. So now what I did do was kept the door handle. Coincidentally, I only had one, but this is how I'm going to be using it to open and close the tailgate. This will just go in the glove box and we're good to go. You know, if it ever did get sold, yeah, make some kind of key up or something, but this just reminds me more and more, right, how it went. You know, we ended up salvaging from the 4-door, so lots of fun. We'll cut this discussion off, but nice little keyway. So all we've got here is 1 and 2. So once the latches were welded in place and I knew exactly where everything was going, I was then able to map out where I'd cut my holes here. And again, really easy, just cut it. Measure twice, cut once, right? But as easy as that, we're latched. So I will end up putting some kind of cord coming down here just to catch the tailgate. So when you do sit on it, it's not going to flex, none of that going on. But, you know, completely flat, no warping, just the way, you know, it should be in my eyes, at least, creating something like this. Now, the only thing left is the top, of course, with this fin. So what I've got is a bit of these old chunks of round bar laying around, freebies. Course. but that fits real nice into there. So I'm thinking just put some weld down the top and then get a nice pool going, stepping back in between here. And then we'll grind it down and just create this profile of a little fin on the top. And it'll really make the difference of seeing this fin in the end, I think. I'm gonna cut some round bar just to blend it in on this little scab here, and that will carry this transition across smooth with the same shape that we have, just the way we want it. And then this end piece, I'm thinking just capping it, right? But again, 1 and 2, up and down she goes. Just move the light here to see a bit better. But as you can see right here where the latch is, this just simply twists in and out. So heating the spring inside did make quite a difference just to make it be able to switch and latch that easy and smoothly. And then closed. So that brings us to the back. So this is quite a big flat area on it. Now, check out the grill here. This is a little piece off the grill, how it says Terraplane. Well, that's what I'm envisioning here, but supersized. So we'll probably end up bead rolling this with Terraplane in the center of it, and then just mounting it on the top of it. No need really to weld it off or anything probably. End up fixing it with glue or panel adhesive possibly. Maybe end up welding it, but depending on our material, if I use copper, then just tack it, put it on there, right? So to go, we're going to be just taking this profile again a little bit higher and mimicking it and creating this same bevel that's on the bottom piece right here. And then of course our sheet metal is going to run down the side here too. So all this coming down is going to lead us basically to our next step, which is of course this back sail pan, as we were calling it before. So that's the next piece. We're going to get it in the brake. Try that old telephone pole maybe to get this one bend around it too, but it's a little more tighter, so I don't see why we can't just make something up here or make our own jig up for it, but you know. Get a couple more shots of this, just opening and closing, just how it goes. And yeah, really appreciate everyone. Yeah, thanks for the comments. Thanks for checking it out. You know, just the feedback, it's great. You know, positive, negative, doesn't matter to me. Just having fun. So we'll see you next one.